Hello everyone. Today we are going to understand how you can send a basic email through VBA. Okay, so I'm reaching on VBA editor. I'm pressing Alt F11. So this is VBA editor. So straightforward, I'm just going to write my code to send a basic emails. Okay, so I'm just inserting a module over here. Okay, this is a module. So I'm creating sub. Let's suppose it would be send basic email. Basic mails or whatever. Okay, so before sending this email we need to declare few variables, and we need to understand what is the reference library over here. So in my last video I have told you, if you have seen, where we have connected with PowerPoint, basically the same concepts comes over here. So I'm just connecting with the library. So go to tool, reference. So as of now I'm adding Microsoft Outlook object library, which is okay, I'm just checking it out. Microsoft Outlook. Okay, so in my case it's 15.0 object library. So in your case it might be different, so it could be like 12.0 or 14.0, depend upon the version which you are using. I think for if you're using Excel 7, then there would be 12.0, and if you're using 10 it would be 14.0 or something like that, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm adding this library. Okay, what is the basic purpose to add this library? As I have already told you in my last video, there are basically two things. First one would be early binding, and second would be late binding. So as of now I'm approaching with early binding prospects. Like I have already attached our reference library. So mean to say, like if you have seen, like I'm mentioning like sheet 1 dot activate. So if you see these are the IntelliSense list. Okay, so when you include the library, then the respective IntelliSense or the respective help will automatically pop up, whereas in late binding it would not be. So what will be benefit of late binding and late binding or early binding? In early binding, yes, definitely help would be there, but the disadvantage to use early binding is like you need to make sure that on each and every system this library has to be included if you are sending this project or this code to someone else. But in a late binding concept, there would be a platform independent, so you need not to worry about which kinds of platform it would be or how someone would run that particular code. But over here I'm not telling the late binding or early binding concept just because I have already informed you about that, but over here I'm approaching with the early binding concept. So for that I have already attached that particular library. So over here I need to take few variables. Like I'm taking first variable, let's suppose OL Outlook application as application, or if you see there are two words over here, application and application. One is for Excel and one for Outlook, the library which we have attached over here. So as of now I'm not able to understand means whether this is meant for Outlook or this meant for Outlook. Again we need to check it out in my reference. So what is their severity? Okay, so but before that I can do one more thing over here. I'm making it specify by Outlook application, then it would be okay. I'm taking one more variable, so dim Outlook email as Outlook dot mail item. So if I need to send a mail to someone, okay, so there are two things which needs to be included. First one, that particular application which we are going to use, and the respective mail item. Like I'm using Outlook, and mail item would be the object to send a mail. So these are the variables. Then we need to create an instance for that. Okay, so I'm using set OLAPP is equals to new outlook dot application. New is meant for to create a new instance basically. Okay, if you want, I'm to mention over there to create a new instance, to create an instance of outlook. Okay, so anyhow, so instance would be created. So same way need to do it for OLE email as well. So is equals to, now OLE email would be an object of OLAPP, which is Outlook application, and I'm mentioning create item, which would be, it would be mail item. So you can choose from here mail item. Okay, so everything would be done by this particular object, which is called OL mail item. Okay, so what needs to be done? So I'm saying OL email, which is this one, sorry, dot to mean to say to whom I want to send my mail. So like I'm saying, it would be prince.sethi0901 any mail address or whatsoever you want to take. Then what will be the subject, who would be in CC or BCC, what are the attachments. So number of properties you can add over there, or you can use with statement as well. So I'm using with statement, like with OL email. So 2 should be equals to prince.sethi0901@gmail.com. okay, the subject would be this is just a test mail. Okay, so do you want to send it? So you can make it send. If you want to save in a draft, so you can make it save. Or if you want to display it on Outlook, so you can mention display as well. So whatsoever. So like I'm mentioning display over here. So there are few other steps which you can understand. So don't worry, we'll cover those concepts as well in our later videos. So I'm mentioning end with as of now. So I think this code is good to go. I'm deleting this thing. Okay, so I'm running this thing by pressing F5. So if you see, I'm pressing F5. So it's running, and that's it. So if you see, this is the to whom I am going to send my mail. This would be my subject, just because I haven't mentioned anything in my body and didn't press send button. So this is showing as a display. So I hope you have understand this concept. In a later videos we'll go a bit further, like how you can use attachments over there, how you can use HTML coding in your emails, and the different other approach as well. So for time being, so have a good day. Bye bye.